Welcome, dear students, in our next lecture. Myself, Durganand Sir, your chemistry educator, and in today's lecture, I am going to teach you each and everything about universal indicator. Dear students, we are discussing second chapter of chemistry, class 10 for CBSE and other state examination, but in English medium. Okay. So in this chapter, acid, base, and salt, we have already discussed about acids and some extent of bases. In bases, right now we are discussing about indicator and pH value. In previous lectures, we have discussed about indicator, and in the last lecture, we have discussed about pH. I have discussed pH in very detail, so I hope you have watched that video. If you did not watch that video, please go on my channel and watch that video before continue this lecture. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. As you know, in today's lecture we have topic that is universal indicator. Universal indicator. You know already about this term indicator. Okay, I have discussed in very detail about indicator. So what is indicator? You know, but I have new term, that is universal indicator. What is this universal indicator? First of all, I have a question for you guys. I have a beaker. I have a beaker, and this beaker contains a solution named A. Okay, and in second beaker, I also have a solution, and this solution is actually B. The name of solution is B, and the name of solution is A here. Okay, now I'm going to ask you that suppose this solution can be either acid or base. Okay, in the same way, this solution can be either acid or base. Now I ask to you guys, can you tell me this solution is acid or base? Can you tell me this solution is an acid or a base? And if you tell me, if you are able to give answer whether this is acid or base, then you will use the concept of indicator. Remember what I have studied. Remember, please remember. I have already told you, I have already taught you that if I have a solution and I want to know their nature, that solution is acidic or basic. In that case, I use indicator. So if we talk about indicator, I remember that indicator means anything which identify solution, which identify nature of solution, which identify acidic or basic solution, which differentiate between acidic or basic solution on the basis of their ability to change color or smell when they are put in acidic or basic solution. Okay, so indicator means anything that helps you to identify whether a solution is acidic or basic. Okay, but now I have a question for you. Suppose in this beaker I have an acid named A, and in this beaker I have another acid named B. Now I have already know this solution is acidic and this is also acidic. But I ask to you that, can you tell me which acidic is more acidic? Which acid is more acidic? Means which acid is more powerful? I ask to you that which acid is more powerful? Which solution has more acidic nature? Means I'm asking to you that, can you tell me the strength of this acid? Can you tell me the strength of these acids? And if you are able to tell, then which concept you are using to give answer of this question? Recall each and everything you have studied in the last lecture. I have told you each and everything. How can I identify which is acidic or basic solution? And if I know this is acid, this is base, this is also acid, then I have already told you that if you have two acids or if you have two bases, and if you want to know that which acid is more acidic, which has more acidic nature, means if you want to know the strength of acids, then you have to use the concept of pH value. Please remember, dear students, please remember, I have told you, if you want to identify acid or base, just you use indicator. But if you want to know a strength of acid or base, if you want to know which acid is stronger or which base is stronger, you have to know, you have to use the concept of pH value. So with the help of pH value, we know the strength of acids or bases. Suppose pH value of this acid is 3 and pH value of this acid is 9. Please look at the screen. You have two acids. The first acid has pH value of 3 and the second acid has pH value 9. And now I can identify which is a stronger acid and which is a weaker acid. Now I can relate the strength of both acids. And I know each and everything about pH. So I can conclude that acid A is more strong and acid B is a weaker acid. Okay. So if we have to know a strength of acids or a strength of bases, I use the concept of pH value. But it is only possible when you know the pH value. But what if you don't know the pH value? Suppose you have two acids and you don't know pH of both. Then how will you conclude which is more acidic or which is less acidic? Some of you will say that, sir, I know the formula of pH minus log concentration of S positive, and on this basis, I will calculate the pH value, and then I will tell you which is more strong, which is more acidic, and which is less acidic. But I don't have time. I don't need to find pH value. Suppose you are a class 10 student. You are not a scientist. You are not an engineer. You are just a student and you go in the laboratory and just want to know a strength of acids or a strength of bases. You just want to know which is more acidic, which is less acidic, and you don't know how can you calculate pH, because to find pH you need to find first of all concentration of S positive in a particular solution, and once you calculate concentration of S positive, then apply this formula and you will get pH value, and after getting pH value you will find which is more stronger acid and which is less stronger acid. But this is a complicated process. Please try to understand, this is a complicated process for class 10th student, class 12th student. So what we have to do if I want to know a strength of acid or a strength of bases? Don't worry, I have solution of each and every problem in the world of science. I have solution, and that solution is known as universal indicator. Please understand, universal indicator. So what is universal indicator? Universal indicator is a special kind of indicator. Universal indicator is a special kind of indicator. A special kind of indicator that tells about a strength of acids or bases? Please try to understand. I have two acids or two bases, and I want to know the strength, the relative strength of acids or bases. Then I have one way, and that is pH value. But I have a problem. I cannot calculate pH value because I'm not a scientist, I'm not an engineer, I'm just a student of class 10 or 12th. Then what can I do? At that situation, I have a solution, and that solution is not universal indicator. And this universal indicator is a special kind of indicator like litmus. But litmus paper tells you only about which is acid or which is base. But this indicator, universal indicator, tells you the relative strength of acids or bases. Which acid is more stronger and which acid is less stronger. This is identified. This can be calculated by using universal indicator without any mathematical calculation, without using formula of pH value. So how this work? How this universal indicator will work? So try to understand. Universal indicator gives different colors in different pH value. Different colors in different pH value. Suppose I have a solution. And when we put universal indicator in this acidic solution, and we get color of this universal indicator is red. We get red color of this universal indicator, and we have already calculated, we have already determined that if universal indicator gives red color, means pH of this solution is 2. In the same way, suppose you have another acidic solution, put universal indicator in this solution, and you will get yellow color of universal indicator. And we have already decided, if universal indicator gives yellow color, means pH of this solution is 5. So now I know pH of both solution, and we can easily relate which is acidic, which is more acidic, and which is least acidic. I hope you have understand each and everything about universal indicator. So what is universal indicator? I have a problem. What? If I want to know relative strength of acids or bases, I have only one way. I have only one solution, and that is pH value. But for pH value, I have also a problem. I don't know to calculate pH value. If I know, I'm not engineer, I'm not scientist. Because to calculate pH value, first of all, you have to calculate concentration of H positive, and then you will apply the formula of pH, and you will find the pH, and then you will relate which is more acidic and which is less acidic. This is a complicated process for a student of class 10 or 12. So make it easier. We have discovered a special kind of indicator, that is universal indicator. This indicator has a characteristic that when we put this indicator in acids or bases of different pH, it gives different colors. And on the basis of colors it given, we can calculate the pH of solution. And if I'm able to calculate, if I know the pH of solution, I can easily relate which is more acidic or which is less acidic. In the same way, I can relate which is more basic or which is less basic. Look at the screen. I will show you a diagram of universal indicator. Please look at this diagram, dear students. What I am going to teach, please focus on this diagram. What is this representing? A universal indicator. You can easily see, if universal indicator gives red color, means pH of the solution will be 1. Okay, look at this diagram. What is this indicator? Okay, I have an acid. When I put blue litmus paper, it converted into red. In this solution, I have a basic solution, and when I put a red litmus paper, it is converted into blue color. Okay, so this is normal indicator. But what is this? This is universal indicator. If universal indicator gives red color, means pH of that solution is 1. If universal indicator gives yellow color, pH of that solution will be 5. If universal indicator gives blue color, pH of that solution will be 11. So on the basis of color given by universal indicator in a particular solution, we can calculate the pH of solution, and if we know pH value of any 2 or more solutions, we can easily relate their strength. So I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. You have learned something better in this lecture, and you have known each and everything about universal indicator given in class 10th chemistry. Okay, so hey guys, if you have enjoyed the lecture, please subscribe the channel and hit the black icon, bell icon, sorry, black icon nahi, bell icon. Okay, so I will meet you in the next lecture. Bye bye for today.